here at the 1 mile Phoenix International Raceway. Hey everybody, glad you're back with us here on Speed. Steve Burns, Phil Parsons, and Jeff Hammond. Now Jeff, look, it's hard to argue with the numbers when you look at the winners in the Nationwide Series here. Boy, you better start up front.
Yeah, you need to, Steve, because you got to understand something. This is a fast race. It's pretty much a short race. And starting up front just gives you that advantage on pit road, as well as, I mean, let's face it, guys, when you ride a roller coaster, where do you want to start and ride? You want to ride up front. You can see a lot better, work this racetrack. It's very, very difficult to pass, especially if you got a good race car. So right now, if you want to have a chance to win this race, it's time to qualify. I think, top 10? Best to hope for if you qualify top 10.
Phil, the deepest this race has been won from in terms of starting position, 20th by Greg Biffle. That is the exception rather than the rule. Now, we hear about this place being a driver's racetrack. Talk about the challenges that confront these drivers with qualifying here. As Jeff said, it's a quick race. We want to start up front.
Yeah, you really do. And Steve, this racetrack at best is a compromise when it comes to qualifying. You work on your race setup for 2 practice sessions, and you know when you put tape on it, and you put those new tires on and pump them up, it's going to be loose. So, okay, you're going to tell your driver, go out there, get me a good lap. Now, it's going to be loose. You're not going to like the way it feels.
No pressure.
But, oh, by the way, I need a good lap, too, because we have to start up front.
No problem. You got it down pat, buddy.
You've heard that a time or two.
Yes.
All right, qualifying headed your way here in just a minute. Nationwide Series teams ready to have at it. They'll race later today. Stay with us here on Speed. 40 cars set to qualify. They will all make this afternoon's race. That's the good news. But Jeff Hammond and Phil Parsons and I have talked about you really need to qualify up near the front. First driver out, the number 74 of Mike Harmon. He'll be followed by Harrison Rhodes and Jason White. Phil, we've got quite a bit of wind blowing down the front stretch towards turns 1. Will that affect the teams at all? Affect the drivers?
Yeah, I think you're going to get that thing in the corner a little bit harder maybe than you had planned. And all the crew chiefs in the garage area said when this session started last time here, it was really, really loose. So we just had a cup practice, so that's going to help. That's going to be the same rubber exactly that these guys are on. But before that, we had a Mexican race last night, and we also had a K&N qualifying this morning. But again, everyone said that it got faster as the session went. That's because people were watching these cars get really loose and making the adjustments to them.
The other thing, too, when you talk about that wind, Steve, you always have to worry about the racetrack lane here for a while and that fine sand getting blown across the racetrack. You know, we are in a desert, so you have that tendency to happen. But the good thing is coming off the back end of this Sprint Cup practice, the racetrack is really clean, I think, and ready to go.
Oh, Jeff, to that point, ask Phil the same question. Kyle Busch has just been out there for Sprint Cup practice. Will there be an advantage to the guys who've been out there for practice?
I think absolutely. Again, their cars are more similar now than they've ever been. They're on the exact same tire, which is a new tire this year. New tire they've never had before, so I think it's a distinct advantage. Mike Harmon obviously having some problems here.
Well, the thing is right now, when you think about Mike Harmon, I know they just barely got to the racetrack this weekend, and they were still putting this car together on Friday afternoon, even, you know, throughout basically all day Friday, trying to finish up little loose ends that they hadn't finished at the shop. I mean, it's a big push for a lot of these teams to get finished up in Daytona and get here.
Next up, Harrison Rhodes in the Rick Ware Racing Ford.